Jeff. I'm Nicholas, and I'm so pumped to interview you today. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me.
Oh, thank you so much, Nicholas. I'm really excited to be talking to you. You look really cool in your environment. You've got your Wimpy Kid books there.
Yes.
Unfortunately, you have other people's books too, but we'll let that go today, all right?
I love your books and all. They're hilarious, really. I could relate to Diary of a Wimpy Kid because I have two brothers that sometimes annoy me.
Gotcha. Yeah, I do too. And mine are like 50 years old and 40 years old now, but still, they're still annoying because they're brothers, you know?
I know how that feels. Diary of a Wimpy Kid is about a boy who has two brothers who pick on him. Also, in middle school, he has troubles working in class.
Yeah. And sometimes that's what it was like for me as a kid. I have something called attention deficit disorder, which means I have trouble like paying attention to my teacher. I have trouble focusing. I get distracted very easily. And I think Greg's got some of those qualities too, you know, so
Yes.
A lot of us boys have those qualities, you know, it's a little hard to sit still sometimes.
Were you a good student in class?
I was a good student in class most of the time. I was good, like when we were talking, I was a good student. Like if we were talking to the teacher or in a conversation about something, I was a good student. But if it's a teacher at the blackboard or the whiteboard these days, and I'm just sitting in my desk trying to listen, I wasn't the best student then. But I did well in my elementary school years.
Was one of your or a few favorite subjects in school?
I really liked English. I liked anything creative, and I liked art. I liked any chance I could get to kind of show off a little, you know, like I like those kinds of subjects.
What is some of your least favorite subjects in school?
Some things got away from me. Like when I went to high school, some of the subjects were very difficult for me, like physics and chemistry and things like that. So it got harder for me. But I think I liked everything just about equally in elementary school, middle school.
Now, in your words, Jeff, what would you say your books are about?
I would say my books are about this middle school kid named Greg, who's got lots of flaws and imperfections. You know, he's a person who's not done developing. He's not finished developing as a person yet. So that makes him kind of messy, and that makes him kind of funny because, you know, he's not like he's not like a hero who's always doing the right thing, and you know, he makes tons of mistakes. So he's a complicated character.
Next, how are you and Greg similar? Was the character based on you during the kid?
Yeah, he's a lot like I was as a kid. He's very active. Like I used to do things like try to create a business and do things like that, like, you know, have a lemonade stand. Yeah, exactly. And then I'd mess up, you know, and I'd do things the wrong way, or I wouldn't make much money. So it's kind of funny. His relationship with his best friend Riley is like my relationship with my best friend Ryan at the time. So the model of their relationship is what I drew the stories from.
Why was Manny and Roderick created to pick on Greg?
Yeah, I think they were created to pick on Greg. You know, Greg's in the middle of the middle. He's in middle school. He's in the middle of his family, of the pecking order. So he feels like he's sort of stuck in the middle. In fact, we have a musical, and the very first song is called Stuck in the Middle to really emphasize that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm 9 years old. I have a lot of ideas what I want to be when I grow up. When you were 9, what did you want to be?
What I wanted to be, at a certain point, I did want to be a newspaper cartoonist. When I was in high school and college, I wanted to be a newspaper cartoonist. When I was a person about your age or a little bit older, I think I really wanted to be a game programmer, like somebody who made video games. And I did get to do that. So in my career, I've gotten to be a games programmer.
A lot of stuff you wanted to be, and you got the chance to do it. Wow.
Yeah, I really did. Yeah.
What do you love being about a cartoonist? Is it hard to draw cartoons? Does it make you feel like a kid again?
That's a great question. It's funny, it's funny that I'm making a living off of doing what I was doing when I was your age, just drawing in class. So usually these days I have to write on a deadline, so I have something to do all the time, and that makes something that should be really fun not so fun. You know how that is when you have a homework assignment. It's not so fun when you've got that deadline,
like
right?
Do tomorrow, do next week, do in a few days.
I would always do things the night before, morning of, something like that. A lot like
sometimes Greg. I do that. Like sometimes when I'm like writing assignments and I have a busy week, I just feel like I have to do homework right now.
That's right. Yes, that's life as a kid for sure.
What do you like about being an author? And was it difficult for you or was it easy for you?
Yeah, I like moments like these where I get to meet the people, the kids who read what I wrote. It's really cool for me. Believe it or not, I don't get many chances like that because these days when I do big author events, I do a stage show. So I'm not really getting to meet the kids.
It's so cool that I'm one of the kids that gets to meet you. It's such an honor.
Oh, thanks. It's cool for me too, for sure.
It is. How long did it take you to write your first book? Let me guess, was it about like 8 or 9 years?
Yeah, that's right. You've done your homework. So it took me about 8 or 9 years to write the first one. And then next year I'll start writing a new book, and it'll take me 6 or 7 months.
Was it hard or was it difficult or was it like in the middle?
It was really pretty hard, actually, because I was creating a new way of writing, this kind of mixed way of writing with some cartoons and some text. And so it took me a long time to kind of crack it, to figure out how exactly to do it.
I know you wanted Diary of a Wimpy Kid to be for adults. What made you change your mind to make the switch to have the book be for kids?
So my publisher said, you know what, this thing that you wrote for adults, it actually would work really well for kids. So they're the ones who came up with that idea.
I'm glad they did that.
Yeah, I am.
These books are hilarious.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
How many books are in your series? Are you working on any more?
I've got 17 books in the series, and I've got a few rally books and a movie diary, 2 movie diaries, and then a do-it-yourself book. So I'm working on the next Wimpy Kid pretty soon. I'll be starting on number 18 pretty soon, but I have no idea what it's going to be about. So it'll be a surprise to me.
Do you have a number 17?
Number 17 is Diaper Overload. That's the one that just came out. Yeah.
I'm gonna read it right when I get it. I've been.
Oh, cool. I hope you like it.
I do too. Many kids like myself love to draw and write and get creative. What advice do you have kids like me to be successful in those and getting creative?
Yeah, well, the best thing that you can do is work on something that takes you a long time, and then work on something that doesn't take you very long at all, right? You're not old enough yet really to have a social media account, but eventually you'll be able to have something where you can start posting things, your videos and things like that, and then you'll get feedback from people, and that's cool. But it's also important to work on something that takes a really long time to get good at. Like, I'll bet you play an instrument or something like that.
I do play an instrument.
And what instrument is that?
I play the piano.
Yeah, and that it takes years to get good enough to play in front of people, right? So it's some things really are worth the wait.
How did you get your big break?
I went to something called New York Comic Con. I brought a sample pack and found an editor, and that's how I got started.
Wow, that must be so exciting for you. How many kids do you have?
I have 2.
Are they related to the characters in your book? Do you have a son like Greg or like Roderick? Or Manny?
They're not really. My kids are now 20 and 17. They're not very much like the kids, Greg and Manny and Roderick. But my older, my own siblings, they are like those characters.
Cool. What is your favorite thing about being a dad to your 2 kids?
Well, it's a privilege to be able to raise kids, bring them into the world, and then raise them and share all those experiences with them. I think my favorite thing about my kids is that they play basketball. So I get to go to lots and lots of basketball games and see them do well. So that's really fun.
That must be really fun.
It is.
What do you do with all of your earned money?
What do I do with my earned money? Yeah. Well, we built a bookstore, and I'm in it right now. I'm in the studio that we built in this bookstore. Where
is it located, and what kind of books do you sell? The books are, do you sell mostly Wimpy Kid books?
Yeah, it's located in Plainville, Massachusetts, so right between Providence, Rhode Island, and Boston, Massachusetts. Okay. And yes, we sell all the Wimpy Kid books here.
What is it like having your books getting turned into awesome movies?
It's really cool. It's really fun to see my words be spoken by actors and to see my ideas animated. So it's really a fun part of my life for sure.
What is it like producing the movies that have been created from your books?
It's really cool. It's almost like creating in a way, like you're making a pizza. You're getting the ingredients, and you're creating the menu and everything. You're sort of setting the table for somebody else to perform. So it's like you're serving something up for somebody else to eat in a way, which is kind of cool.
Yep. Tell me about the new Roderick Rules movie.
It's lots of fun. It's based on the second book, and it's about Greg and his brother and how they can't get along. And Roderick has a talent show coming up, and Greg's going to be in it too. So it's all these things together, and it's fun.
Do you need to cast a Greg for your next movie? Yeah, I'm available.
I don't know if we'll ever do another live action, but for sure, if you want to put your name in the hat for a Greg for our future movies, you certainly should.
Thank you. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, you're a really good interviewer, though. Is this your first interview? Have you done a lot?
I've done many.
That's awesome, man. Well, thank you it's a privilege to be interviewed by you, Nicholas, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. It's the same privilege to have you here talking to me. It meant a lot because you're one of my favorite authors and with these wonderful books.